Hello you sexy beasts, welcome back to War Thunder. Oh yeah. This is a replay I've had sitting on my hard drive for quite a while now. It's been about 2 weeks. I just really haven't had any time to commentate over it, given that I am currently being one of the moderators for the Thunder League which is going on right now. The professional esports event for War Thunder. But shameless self-promotions aside, this is my very first drive out in a T-44-122 Russian premium tank on the all new map, Tunisia, that came out with the latest patch 1.55. First time I'm actually driving on Tunisia as well, so it's a first for me on both fronts. Which is interesting because I do get quite a good result, but let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Now, the T-44-122 is a interesting tank in itself. It's nothing really unique. It's basically just a combination of two very proven Russian tanks. We have the hull of a T-44 and the gun of an IS-2. This is essentially what it is, nothing else. Now the turret armor I think is the same as on the T-40 on the regular T-44, although I have heard that it's slightly worse. But even so, you know how the frontal gun turret armor of Russian tanks is. You're not going to bounce anything with that. That's always been the weak point of these tier 4 tanks in the Soviet tree. Now I see a King Tiger over there, and I use my binoculars to see him over this rock. Now sadly that first shot does miss. And look, I want you to notice how long it takes to reload this gun. That's the major weak point of this gun. Now, whilst a 122mm gun does do much more damage than the 85mm does, if it penetrates, that comes with the drawback of having a much longer reload. Now penetration values are about the same between the two tanks, at least from what I've seen the shells are just about the same, with the 122mm actually doing a little bit more penetration. But the thing is, especially on this T-44-122, I've noticed that the reload rate seems to be even slower than it is on the IS-2. And do keep in mind, I have maxed crew on this thing. Yes, completely ace with gold needles and everything, so this is the best it's ever going to get. The very best it's ever going to get. I'm guessing the major weak point of this tank is going to be getting your gunner taken out. Not your gunner, your loader. If your loader dies, you are screwed. You're never going to reload this gun in time to stay effective. But this replay isn't not much about the tank itself. Rather, I want to show you guys how to properly play tanks in RB. Now, since you do not get target markers in RB, or name markers over enemy tanks, you have to spot them by yourself. And there are two major ways to spot an enemy tank. Either if they move, because well, our ranks are trained to spot movement since primitive times. It was always a defense mechanism against predators and even spotting prey when we were hunting and gathering. And the second, probably most flashy way to spot a tank is if that tank fires its gun. One, that's going to give a massive sound cue to everyone on the map, and second, it's also going to kick up a lot of dust for you to spot, or well, for your enemy to spot if you are the one shooting. Now, since tanks in War Thunder do not rely on a hit point system and any shot from any caliber can take you out in one shot from any range, it is very important that you spot your enemy before the enemy spots you. In order to achieve that, Gaijin did give us a couple of tools, namely the binoculars. Now, I have my binoculars bound to the B button, and you should definitely, if you didn't use them yet, you should definitely go to the controls and set them up for yourself. Now, come on, do you spot that? Right in front of me is a panther, and he saw me. He saw me coming up here, but I am hidden behind this rock, but I can still spot him. Why? The binoculars pretty much take the position of the commander's eyes, if he were to if he were to go out of the commander's hatch. So basically, you can head glitch, which is very good when staying behind cover. Now, I sadly dunked that first shot. I was a bit nervous for the panther to penetrate my frontal armor, but he did bounce as well. I should have taken some more time to aim that shot, because now it's going to take me a massive amount of time. Look at this. I could have shot him again here, but he is retreating. He's getting shot at from my teammates. Now he's presenting the side of his turret to me, and I shoot again, and that one did penetrate and take out his turret ring and his gunner. He's going to take the next couple of minutes to repair that one. That must have hurt. So I scan the area and try to go for other targets. Now I've seen some fire coming in from that side. I think there's an Austrian hiding over there, but oh, there's another Panther. That is another Panther. The Germans really like to scan this map, don't they? Now this is a Panther I just shot at, and I finally get my guns inside it, and I dunk the shot. Sadly, that was aimed way too low. Now I haven't been playing Tanks RB for too long myself. I still have to get used to the target markers and to how to aim each gun. I've definitely noticed that Russian guns are not very good at longer ranges. They do tend to have a slower muzzle velocity. Now did you see that? I was behind this rock, but I was still able to see that King Tiger advancing. And the King Tiger had no chance of seeing me. So I take my binoculars, put my gun on him, but he's behind cover. I think that I'm not going to take that shot without bouncing. So I scan the area around, see if I can get something else. And oh, that's the first Panther I shot at. He is completely oblivious. I take aim, shoot, and he's down. Scratch 1. Now I'm actually in a very good position here, because there's lots of cover around me, and those bushes conceal me quite well. Now here's some fire taken from behind, and yep, there is a King Tiger firing at my teammates. Now, this guy is completely oblivious that I'm here. He has no idea, so I have all the time in the world to line this shot up. And one shot, one kill. Kill number 2 in the space of 1 minute. Now, that 88mm flak gun actually confused me. I was afraid that it was a tank. Now I know for a fact that there are probably a lot of tanks on that city, so I try to advance very, very carefully, but at the same time I don't want to expose my back too much, so I try and use the cover from these rocks as much as possible. Now there is a Panther 2, if I'm not mistaken, in our base currently capping our zone, so I do drop some artillery on them. Now at this point I could see on the map that we only had a AA defending our base, so I'm trying to rush back and support those guys. But at the same time I'm very, very worried that there's something behind me. So I try to use low ground and cover as much as possible. Like I say, this T-44 is actually very, very good. Whilst the gun handling isn't really the best, because, well, let's be honest here, the reload is just absolutely atrocious. You have to be very, very sure of the shots you take in order to be effective with this. But the mobility is still very good. The Soviet tanks have definitely had always a very good mobility for the armor they have. The thing about the Soviet tanks, even early on, even when the first T-34s came out, is they don't have heavy armor per se, but they have angled armor, which makes it very, very effective. Even more effective than thicker armor, to be honest, because angled armor allows you to bounce shots, and it's more forgiving. You don't have to angle the tank yourself in order to make use of that armor. Now that ISU-152 on this side is getting shot at by something, and being that I'm halfway in the open here, I'm very, very worried that whatever just killed that guy is also going to see me and kill me next. So instead of rushing back to the base, I actually take cover behind this rock and just sit it out here for a couple of minutes. Now CRA is taking some shots there, and I can see on the binoculars that it is a Panther 2, it seems. Can you see that? That is indeed a Panther 2, so take the shot and take his turret crew down. Now I would not have been able to see him if I was only using my gun sight. The binoculars definitely saved me there, and I did forget to mention this. If you are on the binocular sight, you can actually direct your gun towards something, but oh, did you see that tree fall over? There's definitely some kind of tank there. Now I scout the area and try to see if that tank comes out, but the thing I'm really worried about here is to spot if there's any enemy watching me. Now behind that rock is a German anti-air vehicle. Could be a verbal wind. That could be a verbal wind. Those definitely sound like 20mm cannons, but I'm very well concealed here. Can you see in the gun sight? I am very well concealed here. They cannot spot me whilst well, they can spot me, but it's going to be very, very hard for them to spot me whilst I'll stay in the cover of these bushes. And this is exactly what the binoculars were made for. That guy has no idea that I am here. Nobody on the enemy team has. So far I've only been shot at by that Panther at the beginning of the match. Now before I fall back and support our teammates in the cap circle, I want to make absolutely sure that I'm not going to get shot at from behind. So scout the area completely, make sure that there's nothing pointing at me before making my next move. But I get a bit greedy here. I see this AA and I just want to take it down. So point it at him, wait for it to measure the range, because we also have rangefinders now in this game, which you should definitely use in RB. They are a massive help, and especially with the range markers you get in your gun sight. Look at that. Hold on. Still scouting the area, but you get range markers on your gun sights. Every line that goes down from the horizontal mark is essentially 200 meters. So you can kind of predict how much your bullets, your shell is going to drop at any given distance. Which makes it very, very easy to actually hit long range targets. There seems to be a slight bug in the replay system. It says that our points are down, but trust me, we are currently on even points. The points are not going to go down whilst the enemy doesn't cap the points. But as you can see, the enemy is currently capping our home base, so I rush back, trying to support our teammates here. Oh, what is that? A King Tiger sight onto me? One shot, one kill. That's a third kill on my belt. But this is long from over. Now there's a AA helping me out here, and I have a feeling there's something to our left side, because they must have flanked from the left side. The way that Tiger was positioned, they came from over there, and that does look like a tank. Oh, it's a German A, it's a German A. Take aim! Fire! That does hit, but does not take him out. Now, this AA is actually quite sneaky. He took my tracks out. He took my left tracks out, so I'm completely immobilized here. Now, the guy's never going to penetrate me. Not from the front. But he has backup. I see something moving on the side there. Now, I am using my binoculars right now, but it is not showing up in the replay. But that's a perfect. Did you see that shot? Take aim at the general direction and take him out. That's the 4th kill for me. In the meantime, my teammate in the T-44 took out that AA. So now we are safe to capture the space, to recapture the space, and to reload. Now, I did expend quite a bit of shells during this whole match so far, and I'm worried that I'm going to run out of shells. Now both teams are running low on tanks right now. We only have a couple of tanks left, as does the enemy. Although they do have a slight advantage in terms of tanks. Oh, but I can hear something. I can hear something. Now at this point the enemy is actually spawning into aircraft, and aircraft in RB are a nasty thing. Now, from the air you still don't get target markers on enemy tanks, you still have to spot them by yourself, but once you do, those bombs can ruin a tanker's day. Oh, can you hear the bombs dropping? Run away! Run away! Whew! Gladly, that bomb report was not very good and he did miss those bombs. But there's something else coming in. Yeah, there's a Ju-87 about to dive in on me. Can I take him out? Fire the MGs! Now he did not drop his bombs there. He either had no bombs left or my MG fire actually did manage to scare him away long enough. I take a speculative shot here, but that was never going to hit him. Now, at the bottom of the screen you can see some numbers, some shell numbers, but those are not quite accurate. I did have around 10 shells left at this stage, so I take this time, spend a minute or two in this cap zone to reload my shells, because I have this slight feeling that this match is going to draw out quite a while. Now I still scan the area because we are still not safe here. That flank is completely unprotected. There's no one from our team guarding that flank. So I'm still quite worried that there's some tank going to flank us around from over there. Now drop some artillery in the way to see if I can actually spot something, because this thing. Dropping speculative artillery is not a bad idea. Even if you don't kill a tank, if you hit him you get a hit message. So whenever you drop artillery, that's a good tool to measure if there's anything in that general direction. Oh, those are some more bombs. But he drops them way behind me. Not gonna thank the enemy bomber policy, because they did not know how to drop bombs, and that makes me very, very glad, because, well, if it wasn't for them, I would not have been able to record this gameplay, and trust me, good things are coming up. So far nothing much has been happening. We did get 4 kills, we did get 2 assists, we did rush back into the cap zone to defend, but now is where the match really starts. Now, here's the thing about Russian tanks. Gun depression is awful. Now the Panther over there is not actually seeing me, but oh, I hit this rock here, that could have been bad. That could have been bad. If any enemy would have seen me there, that could have been ended very, very quickly. Now Panther is indeed moving, and I take the shot and take him out. That went straight through the side armor, and it blew up inside his tank, killing the entire crew. And this is the power of the 122mm gun. Even though that tank was quite well angled, because their shell is so big, you do tend to penetrate even at such extreme angles. You just tend to punch straight through. And once again, once you penetrate, this gun is pretty much a guaranteed one-shot kill. Now really again, I am scouting the area because I do not want to advance and have the enemies see me before I see them. And this is just very, very important, this Tank RB. Tank RB is very different from Arcade. In Arcade you can just kind of rush in like a headless chicken and still perform quite well, because you get the notification of tanks that are in your line of sight, even outside of your line of sight sometimes if your teammates spot them. Not so in RB. You have to play very, very patiently. It's not about who has the best tanks, it's not about who has the best shots really. It's about who has the most patience and who has the best ability to read the map and read the situation that's going on right now. Now at this stage, one of my teammates is actually trying to rush for the B cap, for the enemy home cap, but the problem is he's all alone. Now I do want to be a team player here, so I'm advancing slowly and very carefully to try and support him. We are going to have some epic team play coming up. I'm actually going to save us behind. At this stage I'm still very worried about any tanks that might be in the city, but since there are so few tanks actually on the ground right now, the danger is less. Tanks seem to be mostly dispersed around their spawn zones or players in the air just flying around. Now as you guys say, I absolutely love this side of the map. And this map in general, look at this. The graphics are just absolutely amazing. You can hide in these bushes. Look at this, I'm completely concealed right now. Nothing can spot me, not even aircraft. This is just the perfect position to just hide a small tank in and just scout the entire game. Honestly, an M22 Locust would probably be a even better fit in this situation here. Now I am constantly getting spooked by those 88mm flak guns that just constantly remind me of enemy tanks, and again, I do not want to get shot at here, so I advance very, very carefully. Now, did you see that? Up in front, behind the rock, there was a Panther A, and my teammate is in fire, is on fight between with that Panther A. So I do actually something very stupid. I am not checking my corners. I'm trying to rush forward to save the life of my teammate. He cannot fire back. This is take or take action. I take fire at the Panther A, and he is down. Kill number 6, and my teammate lives to fight another day. Now I'm pretty sure that some of the enemy tanks must have seen me right there, because that was kind of careless. I just advanced right there, but I had to. I just had to. If I went any more late, then my teammate would have died and would have been all alone on this front line. Now do make a mistake here. Look at this. Oh, that's a King Tiger. He shoots, takes my track out. I know I have all the time in the world to put it through his turret and take him out. I gotta admit, that was very, very, very lucky. That Tiger could have easily killed me there. Now I'm not quite sure if that was just the Tiger 2H or if it was the one with the 105mm cannon. But from what I can see, that seems like the regular 88mm cannon. So, well, the performance of that tank is still pretty legendary. That gun is one of the best guns that was even employed in World War II. So I was very, very lucky that my tracks ate that shot. Now my teammate is still trying to push strong, and I actually make a major mistake here. Remember what I said at the start of this video, that the most important thing in Tank RB is to not get spotted? Well, this is the major problem I do here. I'm now up on the hill. My gun depression is not allowing me to go down there. There is a enemy AA over there which is playing very smart. I gotta give props to that guy. That guy is very, very smart. He knows that he can't penetrate me from the front, but he can take my tracks out. And that's exactly what he's doing. There's another AA on the left side here, and I try to aim my gun at him, but again, my gun depression is just letting me down. Soviet tanks do not have great gun depression, and they just get greedy here. I should not have advanced at this point. The others took this opportunity, took my tracks out again, hit behind the rock again to deny me any shots, and just about now, there's a King Tiger on my right side who just takes me out. In post, this was really my only mistake during this entire battle. I just became too greedy. I wanted to kill those AA, and I just exposed myself too much and allowed him to kill me. Now, we did lose our tank and we are down on 7 kills. At the moment our team isn't really doing too well. My teammate is still alive, but he is not going to do too well all by himself against the entirety of the German army. So, I spawn into the Tu-2S. This is the last model of the Tu-2S, and I gotta say, this is probably the best ground attack aircraft in Tanks RB and ground forces in War Thunder. Here's the thing about this aircraft. It gets a frontal mounted 20mm cannon, which is more than enough to take out soft targets like open-topped AA, M18 Hellcats, stuff like that. Additionally, it gets 4 500kg bombs. Now, those 500kg bombs have a massive blast radius, which means you don't even have to be too accurate in dropping those bombs. But thirdly, and this is probably the most important thing, it's a dive bomber. Which means, if you look at the reticle, which I'm not doing right now, I'm actually trying to scout out the position of the enemy AA during the bomb sight, but look at the aiming reticle. As I am diving, this thing does not move. It stays perfectly accurate, and this is what's going to decide this, because this is essentially going to help me out massively in dropping these bombs. Now, I'm going for the AA here, because the AA is my arch nemesis at this point. It is because of those AA that I died in T-44, and they can still prove a major nuisance to my Tu-2 here. So I did take the first one down, but there's still another one in the game. The one that actually tracked me. The one that actually tracked me is still in the game. Now, you definitely need to have a good eye and a good monitor to be effective in aircraft in Tanks RB. It is very hard to spot tanks, especially if they are not moving. Now, normally the easiest way to spot a tank again is if they are moving or if they are firing. AA especially, since they just give out those brightly colored tracers, you can very easily spot them when they are firing. Main tanks, not so much. Now, I do still know the general direction of where that AA was, but oh, I see something moving over there. Yes, indeed, there are 2 tanks right over there, but I go for the AA that is moving right now. Now, you do notice that I did not aim straight for the tank. Instead, I aimed slightly in front of him in his predicted flight path. Now, what I tried to do with those cannons there was, I did see a King Tiger just behind that A that I just destroyed, and my teammate is up there. So I was trying to use my back gunner to at least hit the King Tiger and alert my teammate of his position. Same thing with the guns here. I'm never going to penetrate the King Tiger with my cannons, but I can ding him. Second bomb dropped. Second kill. Now, hopefully up on the screen, if I did not forget to actually screen save the battle results, you should see that we had only 9 kills. Sadly, the timer did run out before that bomb dropped and killed the King Tiger, because that was actually 10 kills. The King Tiger did just not count towards the total kill count. Sadly, the timer ran out and we lost because we did not have enough points. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this, well, unique gameplay. Because I've never really featured proper tank RB gameplay on this channel before. If you did enjoy, do let me know by liking this video and asking me for more, simply. I can now finally do ground forces videos and I'm very interested to do more tank videos because honestly I actually prefer ground forces over air forces. There's just something about tanks that I just love. Now if you're new around here, don't forget to click that subscribe button and check out the other content on my channel. We are very close to reaching 5,000 subscribers and I'm planning on a big party for that. So do stay tuned. My name is MikeGoesBoom and I'll see you next time.